secret meeting right before President Trump's inauguration. As the mainstream media continues to claim that Russian agents helped steal the election away from Hillary Clinton, more evidence continues to emerge that this entire narrative is one giant cover-up of the actual crime regarding Hillary and her deleted emails. With each passing day, the absurd Russian story continues to fall apart, pointing to Barack Obama being the criminal mastermind behind this insidious plot to take Trump down. Over the last few days, that scheme has further been revealed after a mysterious letter from former Obama National Security Advisor Susan Rice was discovered. That strange message was just the tip of the iceberg of new clues for investigators, with one major bombshell hiding in plain sight. In this letter that Susan Rice penned to herself held the clues to a secret meeting that Obama held right before Donald Trump was sworn into office. And now that lawmakers are armed with this new information, perjury charges should be filed against all who were involved. The Obama administration was riddled with corrupt individuals, and yet for years nothing was done about it. But that seems to be about to change finally. Over the last year, the mainstream media has been busy pushing the fake Russian-Trump collusion story in a desperate attempt to shift the focus off of the real criminals that are hiding out in the Washington District of Columbia under the Obama administration. Now those offenders are finally being revealed, much to the shock of the mainstream media and the deep state, who are scrambling to protect themselves from possible prosecution. As we all know, top Obama officials over the last year have testified before the Senate Select Committee on Intelligence concerning the now debunked Trump dossier that was used to obtain a FISA warrant for now infamous Trump wiretaps. During this questioning, the committee grilled former Obama administration staffers about what methods were used to determine when these intelligence agencies realized that this dossier was indeed a fake. One of those persons' questions was former FBI Director James Comey, who held back critical information. And how do we know this? Well, the strange message that Susan Rice sent to herself tells us all about it. You see, in the letter that Rice sent to her that Senator Chuck Grassley and Lindsey Graham particularly declassified earlier this week, shows that Comey held a meeting with Obama and failed to disclose it in his testimony. This report from the Daily Caller: FBI Director James Comey held a secret Oval Office meeting with President Barack Obama 2 weeks before Trump's inauguration and may have deliberately misled Congress about it, according to an email sent by National Security Advisor at the time, Susan Rice, that GOP Senators Chuck Grassley and Lindsey Graham partially unclassified. The meeting, which Comey never previously disclosed to Congress, occurred in the White House on January 5, 2017. It included Obama, Vice President Joe Biden, Rice Deputy Attorney General Sally Yates, and Comey. The topic of the meeting was potential Russian interference in the 2016 presidential election. By failing to inform the Senate Select Committee on Intelligence about the meeting in his June 8, 2017 testimony, Comey may have deliberately and intentionally misled Congress about his interactions with the former president, especially a meeting so close to Trump entering the White House. Quote, President Obama had a brief follow-up on conversation with FBI Director James Comey, and this is what Rice wrote in her email written before the inauguration. The National Archives gave Grassley and Graham classified and unclassified emails about the meeting. Previously, Comey contended that he only met with Obama twice, once in 2015 and another to say goodbye in late 2016, according to the former FBI director's June 8, 2017 testimony before the Senate Select Committee on Intelligence. So obviously he never said anything about a meeting in 2017. Comey's opening statement, "I spoke alone with President Obama twice in person and never on the phone, once in 2015 to discuss law enforcement policy issues, and a second time briefly for him to say goodbye in late 2016. Grassley and Graham stated on their websites they were struck by the context and timing of this email and sent a follow-up letter to Ambassador Rice. Grassley and Graham's response continued by stating, "It strikes us as odd that among your activities in the final moments on the final day of Obama's administration, you would feel the need to send yourself such an unusual email purporting to document a conversation involving President Obama and his interactions with the FBI regarding the Trump-Russia investigation. In addition, despite your claim that President Obama repeatedly told Mr. Comey to proceed by the book, substantial questions have arisen about whether officials at the FBI, as well as the Justice Department and the State Department, actually did proceed by the book," as they continued. Rice is scheduled to testify at the Judiciary Senate Committee on February 22, 2017. Now that this email was discovered, it has opened up a whole new can of worms that I am sure the left was hoping to keep quiet. With each passing day, new revelations are revealed over just how corrupt the Obama administration indeed has been and was and will be continuing until we do something about it. And we can only expect that Grassley and Graham will push Rice and now Comey to answer and not let them hide behind some obscure executive privilege clause like so many have done before in the past. This is the time that the American people knew that what was happening in our government and sees justice for all crimes committed under the Obama administration once and for all.
Senior political analyst Brit Hume joins us tonight. Brit, this is a district that's not even going to exist next year, but it's all about bragging rights tomorrow night.
Nationally, the contest.
Well, it's interesting that there's so much being spent to fill briefly a congressional seat that's about to go away because the Pennsylvania Supreme Court threw out the districting plan that had been drawn up by the legislature and replaced it with one that basically makes this one go away. So what we have is a special election to fill out that unexpired term in the seat that won't be there anymore, and all kinds of money and effort are being put into it. This is an interesting, the cross currents, John, in this race are almost too numerous to count. In addition to the fact that it's a district that's about to disappear, it has been a majority Democrat district, which the Republican member has held for what 6 or 7 terms or longer. In addition, of course, that Republican Tim Murphy was excused himself from Congress after a sex scandal, which generally bodes well for the predecessor of the successor of the same party. And not to mention the Democrats have come up with a pretty intriguing candidate, young, attractive, telegenic, Marine veteran, and so on. So the ingredients are here that this could certainly go either way.
2016, Brett, the president won this district by almost 20 points. The fact that this race is even close, that people aren't just expecting the Republican to walk away with it. What does that say either about the state of the Republican Party, the candidate, or the president?
Well, it says a couple of things to me anyway. One of them is that this tremendous antipathy toward Donald Trump among Democrats means that Democrats are motivated, as they would not normally be in an election like this, to come out and vote. This is a way to register your objections to Donald Trump. In addition to that, of course, as I mentioned, the Democratic candidate is kind of cute, and the Republican candidate is kind of a frumpy guy, and that adds into the mix. So but I don't think though that in a race like this with so many cross currents for an election that's going to be repeated basically come the fall, that you can draw all that many conclusions from it. But I guarantee you this. If the Democrats win this seat, they will claim that they've got the momentum for a huge blue wave in the fall. And if the Republicans manage to hold the seat, what with the president having come in there over the weekend and campaigned for this Republican candidate, you're going to hear Mr. Trump saying that it was a big win for him.
In your long storied career of political analysis, I've never heard you say, "and he's kind of cute."